Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 4, and today we're taking a look at the 2017 Ferrari GTC4Lusso. Now this is a Grand Tourer with a shooting brake body style that was started production in 2016 and is a replacement for the FF, which this car shares many similarities to, and not just in terms of the body style. But yeah, this is pretty much just a slightly improved version of the FF. It does granted look better than the FF. It has slightly more power, slightly more torque. It's a better handling vehicle, and yeah, it's a bit more well refined than the FF is. But on the whole, because I didn't really ever like the FF, I thought it was too big, too heavy, and yeah, nowhere near as fun as other Ferraris generally tend to be. So yeah, the idea of this doesn't really float with me, to be honest, because it's not a big enough improvement really to justify itself, even though it is a better vehicle overall. But then again, the FF was only just about average in comparison to other Ferraris, so yeah, this being better than that isn't really a big deal, if I'm honest. But nonetheless, it still has plenty of power. It's got a 6.3 litre V12 engine, just like the FF, but now it produces 680 horsepower and 514 pounds-feet of torque. So that's 29 horsepower more than the FF, as well as 19 pounds-feet of torque more as well. Which, yeah, granted isn't all that much extra, especially when you consider that this car weighs 88 pounds more, at 4,233 pounds. So yeah, the FF was already quite a large, heavy vehicle, so another 88 pounds really does this no favours. But because of the extra power and torque, it is nonetheless still faster in terms of acceleration over the FF. And yeah, the interior is pretty much the same. You've still got 4 seats, as you can see. There's plenty of room in there, no doubt about that. It's a rather practical vehicle, especially in terms of the boot as well. Especially when you when you compare it to other Ferraris. But then again, I would never buy a Ferrari because it's practical. Buy a Ferrari because it's exciting, or because it's rare, or because it's a good fun car to drive, or anything like that. But this, in a way, is an exciting car to drive purely because of how powerful and quick it is. But at the end of the day, it's nothing that we haven't seen before. So yeah, nonetheless, let's get out onto the open road and see what it can do. So yeah, in a lot of ways this handles a lot like the FF, because obviously they both have an all-wheel drive system, both have the engine in the same place, and yeah, even though this does produce more power and more torque, it's not a significant amount to really change the handling characteristics, though obviously it does change how fast this is over the FF. But in general, it does handle pretty much the same. Feels slightly more agile, I guess, but it's still far too large and far too heavy to really be as precise and as fun to drive as, say, a 458 or 488 is, because they're obviously a lot lighter than this, they're a lot smaller, and because they are rear-wheel drive, they're a lot more fun to drive as well. But this is still reasonably quick in terms of acceleration. 0 to 60 in 3.420 seconds, 0 to 100 in 7.218 seconds, and it going to a top speed of 206 miles an hour. Now that top speed is pretty much the same as the FF, but its top speed is slightly quicker because the FF does 0 to 60 in 3.818 seconds and 0 to 100 in 7.817 seconds. So marginally quicker than the FF, but again, like I said, not quicker enough to really set itself apart. Visually, it is again slightly improved over the FF. I certainly like the rear more with those quad rear lights, and the front grille is not anywhere near as grinning as the FF was, but still nowhere near a beautiful Ferrari. Still nowhere near as good as the likes of the 458, but it could be a lot worse. Like I said, the FF is easily one of the worst looking Ferraris ever made, and it's not quite near as bad as that. So yeah, general, it's a fast car, no doubt about that. It will certainly please those kind of people that love a car that can do more than 200 miles an hour and has hundreds of horsepower and like that. But for me personally, a Ferrari needs to be a bit more special than this. It needs to be a car that's, you know, for those special occasions. A car that can seat 4 people and has a big boot isn't a special occasion kind of car. And this does have 4 seats and a big boot, and yeah, no doubt costs a lot, no doubt a powerful, fast car, handles reasonably well for a car that weighs as much as this, but at the end of the day, if it had a smaller body and nowhere near as, you know, a bigger body style, it would be a lot better of a car. So yeah, not a fan of the shooting brake style in general, to be honest, and this Ferrari really doesn't convince me otherwise, that it's a body style really worth having as an everyday car, or as a car in general, if I'm honest. But you know, I'm sure there's some people out there that will enjoy this, and I'm happy for them. I really wish I could enjoy this as much as they will, but at the end of the day, a Ferrari needs to be something a bit more special, a bit more fun to drive than this is. And quite frankly, when I saw that a Ferrari was in the car pass, I just kept thinking of all the cars I would prefer to be in the car pass that is a Ferrari over this one, because there's plenty of classic Ferraris out there that have yet to be featured on a Forza game, and yeah, this could have easily been replaced by any single one of them, quite frankly. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed, but it's far from the worst car on the car pass. There are ones out there that are a lot more useless than this and a lot less fun to drive, but at the end of the day, I would have preferred something, you know, a bit more classic from Ferrari, especially in terms of ones that we've never had before. Because yeah, Ferrari has quite a back catalogue in terms of classic vehicles, and yeah, I don't think we've fully explored that catalogue in any Forza game yet. So yeah, I would have liked a new addition to that. But like I said, there are worse cars out there to have been put in this game. So yeah, it's not the worst result we could have had in the car pass by any means. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.